to episode 4 of the Paincave Podcast. I'm Mike Thomas, and as always, I am accompanied by Preston Sechting and Justin Holland. So, we start every show because this is the Paincave Podcast. We talk about the Paincave program, programmed by the guy sitting to my left, Preston. He programs all the workouts, and the guy sitting across from me programs all the strength, Justin. So,
how was your week, Mike?
Oh, how was my week? It went by.
Was it a good week of working out for you?
Yeah. I didn't have any like catastrophic implosions, so that's good. That doesn't. Usually, I at least have one of those in a week. But yeah, it went okay. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. How about you? How was your week, Preston?
It was a week. It was a good training week. It was good training.
Yeah.
I don't think I was particularly killing it by any means, but it's just good training.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, so
Yeah.
it was just another one of those weeks. But yeah, it was a good week. Got to train. I had a good time.
And Justin, did you have a good week?
Started off a little rocky, and it just kind of like went up as we went. It's been good.
Yeah.
After Monday. Monday was not a good day. I didn't enjoy it at all. We're not going to get into any of that. My back wasn't great on Monday. It was a bad back day. I had a bad back day.
It sounds like you want to talk about it.
I don't.
I think you do.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did do a nasty workout. We're talking about the team. It was, anyway, there was a lot of clean and jerks. And we're doing, for people that don't know, doing clean and jerks with a worm, it sucks. It is not fun at all. We obviously have a worm here because we have a team that's been to semis twice, so we got practice with it. But anyway, so workouts. Speaking of working out and the Paincave program, either one of you guys want to start on the workout that either stuck out to you this week, or it was your fate, you loved it, maybe you hated it, like just one of the workouts that stuck out to you?
I didn't love or hate this workout, but I thought it was a good workout. It was rope climbs. You did 6 rope climbs, 10 sandbag cleans, then you did 20 total bar, then you did 3 rope climbs, you did 5 sandbag cleans, and then you did 10 total bar, and it was you go, I go.
For 6 rounds.
For 6 rounds. For 6 rounds, it was a lot.
Couple rounds.
It was a lot of work. I did it on Wednesday night around 8:30 p.m., maybe 8:45 p.m. alone in the dark, and finished it somewhere around like 9:15. It took like 43 minutes doing like 1-to-1 rest.
Jeez.
And it was something. It was hard, and it was kind of, no, it wasn't fun, but it was hard. It was good, and it stuck out as my workout of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good workout for sure.
Yeah.
It was one where you like don't know at the beginning like how fast it's going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
And
bar.
half of the people that did it quit, like in the middle of it. So
That's true.
I think
you know
far
who you
more than
are
half.
out there. You know who
Everyone
you are.
except for me and Preston.
Literally everyone except you quit.
Before I did that workout, we have a leaderboard in text message that people post their scores to. And I specifically didn't look at it because I didn't want to know, because I just thought my scores would be so bad. I didn't want to compare it. So it was just like, I'm just going to do it. And I'm glad I didn't look at the scores, because half the people that did it quit after the 3rd round or the 2nd round. And I was so close to quitting after then too. But we made it through. It was 4 rounds.
It was only 4 rounds.
It was 4 rounds.
Because
It wasn't
everybody
6.
did 2 rounds.
Yeah, everybody did 2 rounds. Wow.
Oh, it was 4 rounds?
Yeah, it was 4 rounds.
Okay.
So it was
4
only
rounds.
120 total. It was not bad.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. I do believe that Chase finished it as well, because
Oh, did
he was,
he?
yeah,
Good for you, Chase.
Because I went in there to squat, and the sandbag was like right where, like in front of the rig where I was going to be squatting, and he was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, I'll just move the sandbag for him, and so I put the sandbag back. And then I come back like 3 minutes later, and he's got the sandbag back out, and I was like, "You're not done?" he was like, "No, dude." And I was like, "This is a long workout, isn't it?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I mean, if you're not great at had rope climbs and totem
It's-
bar. It would have been a
Would have
huge
been,
problem.
it would have just been a very time consuming.
Because even like for me, the 3 on the back, even though it's just 3, was like I didn't want to do them.
Mm-hmm.
So the totem bar I thought were like not bad the whole time, which I was happy about. But the sandbag cleans did get pretty gross too.
They
It
were
was like 15 around.
Awful.
Like 10 at a time sucks.
Yeah.
But,
What about you?
So mine, I'm gonna pick a class workout again. So it was the one from Tuesday. That's fine. I think I chose the one from Tuesday last week too. But it was an 18-minute AMRAP.
Oh,
I didn't enjoy it at all. But again, I thought it was a good workout. It's something I need to work on. But now I can't remember what the rep scheme was.
so it was 8 strict handstand or
wall facing. Yep, I got it now. Yeah,
8 wall facing.
Wall facing, handstand push-ups, 12 toe to bar, and then 16 deadlifts at 185, I believe. Yeah, so the last few weeks we've done a couple workouts with those wall facing. I felt like I had a little bit of a breakthrough during that workout with them, so I was happy about that.
Mhm.
And then also just being able to do the toe to bar unbroken was good. Anything over 12 minutes, and especially an AMRAP, is not good for me. So I was just, those are always good when I can move steady throughout and there's never a moment where I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I've made a terrible mistake. So that's why that one stuck out, because I felt like I paced it pretty well from the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you had a very good score on that one. For me, the workout that stuck out to me was 4 rounds, 100-foot sled push, 2 45-pound plates for the guys, 1 45-pound plate for the ladies on the sled. But it was 100-foot sled push, 100-foot handstand walk, 50-foot sled push, 50-foot handstand walk. And I believe it was either partner, you go, I go, or it was just rest 1-to-1. I did it alone, so I rested 1-to-1. And it was 4 rounds of that. So it all shakes out to 600 feet of sled push and 600 feet of handstand walking. And the reason I like that one, and I mean, let me just say, it was like at the halfway mark, it started to get very painful on the handstand walks. But I like that one because it almost felt like a test, like, let's see how good you are at handstand walks right now. And I thought that it definitely, you don't always get that push on handstand walks in a workout, because a lot of times if you're putting handstand walks in a workout, you're only ever like handstand walking usually like 50 to 100 feet at a time. And and then after that you move on and you do a bunch of other movements. But with this one, it was like you're just pushing the sled and you're just handstand walking. And the sled, all the sled does, like the sled isn't the painful part. The sled just makes the handstand walks harder. So I really liked that one. I thought I did pretty well until I didn't break more than one time in the 50 feet until the very last round, when I looked at Justin. I was like, there it is, it's gone, like I don't have it anymore. And you were like, dude, you're almost done. You're like, this is literally your last 50 feet of the workout. And I felt like I was going to fall onto my face for that last 50 feet, like barely had anything left in my triceps. But that was that was a good one.
you do it before it rained? Yeah, it
I
had
did.
rained.
Yeah, I did do it. Well, actually, it was raining, but the garage doors were closed, and then some psychopath opened one of the garage doors and made the floor, it's like the humidity from the rain makes the floor impossible to push a sled on. Like literally, you can't push a sled on it. Like it's impossible. So
Yeah, over to our Charlotte Ave, it was impossible from the beginning.
yeah,
It was not moving.
yeah, just
Yeah, I did it early, like
Mhm.
in the morning. So here at Charlesdale, so it was moving pretty smooth for me. So that was
It
never
devastating.
Yeah.
The mats were moving underneath our feet more than the sled was moving. It's crazy.
Yeah, so like their scores were very different just because the sled was a problem, and
Yeah.
for me the sled was just like it was just
For those
a
that
nuisance.
don't know, if there's humidity at all in the air, it's impossible to push a metal sled on rubber mats. It just doesn't move, no matter how heavy it is. And it was rainy that day, and so everybody has some problems pushing that sled. It just sticks to the mats and becomes impossible. So you should have to make do your best.
And we're in Tennessee, so the humidity is a little different than everywhere else. So.
Exactly. And did you guys?
Fortunately, the games is going to be in Birmingham.
That's literally what I was about to say.
We'll be ready.
It's only going to be 95, average humidity of 75%.
Rich had Rich Froning, for those of you that don't know. Rich had a very interesting take on the games being in Birmingham. Did you hear what he said?
No, I don't.
He said he's like thinks the stupidest thing CrossFit's ever done. He said he was like, it's the worst decision the CrossFit Games has ever made. Because he was like people will die.
Because of the
heat and humidity. He was like you think
it could get weird.
You think like Alabama in August is going to be okay? It's not. It's not going to be okay.
I mean, it's going to be this. The temperature is going to be similar to how it was in Carson, but then you're going to have like 35 million times more humidity.
Unless you've trained in that, it's just you just don't know. It's like it's fine for one, but like we're gonna have to do it's gonna be brutal.
I think that place that the Chalk Up had said that it's gonna be, I think a lot of it is indoors.
Yeah.
So that won't matter. But
obviously
they'll have outdoor stuff.
Yeah, but you gotta do a lot of stuff outside. I'm not saying like you can't do most stuff inside, but a lot of the stuff they do at the games you gotta be outside.
Yeah, that complex is it's massive, and it's mostly, from what I remember, is indoors. But I could be wrong.
I mean, I just think that it's going to be a huge advantage for people that live in the South, in the Southeast specifically, and it's going to be one thing that Rich said is it's going to be bad because you're going to sacrifice intensity, because people literally aren't going to be able to work out as fast because it is so hot.
Yeah, I mean that's here in the first 3-4 weeks of not even summer, like when it's transitioning to summer, like you can't do anything here.
Yeah.
Like you do one workout and you're like, well, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
Well, and you can't compare your scores to, like, we have 2 gyms, and one gym has air conditioning across town and then this gym doesn't, and it's just, you just can't compare the two. And also, after you do one workout here, it's basically over. You're good to finish the other workouts, but you're not going to be able to do them with any intensity unless you get a good break and like recover and then come back. It's just not possible. And maybe that's maybe their plan is to do most of it indoors, and that way they can avoid all the problems they run into with rain and like the ropes being canceled and things like that. Yeah. Which maybe this is their solution to that, where it's like whatever they program is going to stay that way. But I don't know. There's something fun about the games just being outside.
Yes, completely agree.
That'll be a different vibe for sure. But they'll hopefully find a way to make it cool. I mean, that's where that like setup. That's where the World Games were, like in Birmingham over the summer. So they should be able to set it up pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to say the least. And it has been, speaking of Rich, he did announce that he is done with team. He is no longer going to compete in the teams division for CrossFit. He is done. And honestly, I think he's kind of done it all in the teams realm of the games. I don't think there's anything left for him to accomplish. I mean, he won it, he did it 7 years in a row. He won 6 times. He got one of those years in 2017. His team came in second, but other than that, to Wasatch CrossFit, and I think he's got 6 gold medals from the team division. I don't think there's really anything left for him. And the team that he assembled last year is undoubtedly the fittest and best team in the history of the CrossFit Games. It's not even close. Like Taylor Williams, Andrea Nisler, Sam Conway, and Rich Froning. That is they literally don't have any weaknesses between the 4 of them. It's ridiculous. I mean, they didn't do quite as hot on the running workout as I think they would have hoped. But guess what they did after that? After that event, they got second place in the next event, and then they got first place in the last 7 events at the games. They literally didn't come. They didn't get anything but first place for the last 7 events. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's just not even competitive at that point. So he's done it all. His last year was, in my opinion, his most impressive year. So I'll be interested to see if he goes Masters, if that's something that he decides to do. And me and Justin were talking about this the other day. If Rich does go Masters, the sign-ups for the Masters division, for his division, 35 to 39-year-old male division, will be insane. Like, it could quadruple. Like,
You'd think so, for sure.
Because people just want a shot at Rich. They just want to see if they can beat him. I didn't know. I mean, Preston, you know Rich. Like, what are your kind of like thoughts about him stepping away from team?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he stays, like, you have to then assemble another team, and I would imagine his teammates were probably also voicing that they were done as well in some capacity, so it's like they weren't going to sign back up again. He also clearly has a lot more stuff going on that he wants to focus on. He has family, he has 3 kids.
Multiple businesses.
Yeah, so he's got plenty of things to occupy his time, and he's still going to be really fit, even if he just does 1 workout a day. He'll still be really, really fit. So, and I'm sure he's going to continue to train anyways. So, I mean, I think it makes sense, and I think, this is just my opinion, but I'm sure he'll go this year as a Masters. That way, he's like 35, I would guess, because you're like at your fittest right now, anyways. So you might as well just keep it going.
Yeah.
Do it now. And then if you win, then just be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again until 40.
Which he mentioned, he did mention that in the podcast, because they were like asking
It's
him.
funny you say that, yeah.
He was like, yeah, I don't know, I might just like do each division once.
Just to say you did it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? When you've got the gift, and you're going to continue to train no matter what. I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, and I would like to see him this year. I guess he said that he has some kind of shoulder thing he's been dealing with since the game, so he was like, he wasn't going to make the decision for this season until he like knows if that's going to be okay for the year. But I would love to see him compete this year.
I wonder who else will come back, just because he is like old competitors for sure. I feel like you're gonna get more of the older guys trying to come back. I feel like I guess I don't know everybody's ages, but I would assume like Dan Bailey and some of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're like I think he's older than Rich.
He is, because he was already a Masters.
Because I don't even
at least
remember.
for 1 year.
I guess I technically I'm in there too, so I'll have a shot as well. But
You're getting close to aging out of that.
I don't even remember who won the 35 to 39 age group last year.
Last year, I think it was Casper Bauer has won it. Kyle Casper Bauer has won it like 3 or 4 times.
He aged up though.
Yeah.
This year he was in the 40, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but Casper Bauer also announced his retirement, so he's not doing it anymore. Let me see.
I just remember I didn't recognize that many people.
Yeah.
As far as like old games athletes that were there before.
So this past year, Brian Wong won in 2022. I don't know his name, but 2nd place Roy Gamboa and 3rd place Craig Kinney. I know both of those names. That was this past year at the games, and then in 2021 it was Kyle Casper Bauer. Yeah, I was right. And James Hobart was in 2nd, and Adrian Conway was in 3rd.
Yeah,
so
Conway said he's not going to compete anymore though.
Yeah.
Well, because I remember last year it was weird because James he got 2nd at the games in 2021, and then he didn't even make it in 2022. He didn't make it past the quarterfinals, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
he qualified for quarterfinals, but then didn't do well enough.
Yeah.
But also, I think it was just the workout selection, or maybe it wasn't a priority for him. I don't know.
I was gonna say he might have just been doing it just to do it, just because he is so tight.
He didn't have a plan or the plan to come back again.
Yeah, and he's like, okay. He also could have just kind of treated it like Scott Panchik treated it. It just didn't work out as well. Like Panchik was like, I'm not competing this year, but I'm gonna do the Open. Then he made quarterfinals, obviously, and he's like, well, I have people from my gym that are doing quarterfinals, and I'm going to be working out anyway, so I might as well do it. And then he did well enough in quarterfinals to make it to semis, and he was like, well, I mean, I made it to semis. Like, it was just, you know, gosh, that number one heartbreak of the past season for me was Scott having that knee injury because of the freaking ropes weren't cut. For those of you that don't know, at semifinals there was a workout program by CrossFit, by the way. It was running and like legless rope climbs, and the Syndicate Crown competition did not cut their ropes at the bottom. And if you don't know, that's a big hazard when you're doing legless rope climbs, because you can, when you come down from the rope, you can step on the rope and hurt yourself.
Yeah, because they had like 2-3 feet of excess probably on the floor. So.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous. But anyway, but yeah, he could have just treated it like that. And I think in 2021, I think he was like declared, like he was like made it a point. He was like, I'm going to compete in the Masters, and he might have just not been training as much, had other things going on, wasn't a priority. We don't know. But yeah, I could see a guy like him being like, you know, hey, I'll take my shot, or you know, like just to see, to see if he can do it. But in my opinion, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way, you're not beating Rich. You're just not. Like,
I wouldn't think that anyone in that age group could beat him.
No.
But I don't know.
I mean, like I would wager that if Rich went individual, like at the games this past year, I think he would. I mean, with how fit he is and how much he can flip that switch in live competition, I think he could finish top 10. Honestly, I mean, do either of you have an opinion on that?
I don't know. I think it's just different. Individual is just so different. It's just another level of volume and intensity and training to get there is higher. So I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you would never count them out, but it's just different. That's why I'm like, I would be like, who do we have that's even around the age? How old's Ben Smith? Is he old enough? No.
I feel like Ben Smith is like close to my age.
Yeah, I think
so he's still not even close.
No, I think Ben's still got 3 or 4 more
I'm pretty sure he's around
Yeah,
that age.
but I mean, like, I guess then it's just like Scott Paincave then is the guy who's like
but
still able to compete as an individual.
Yeah, and
even though he's getting older in age.
Yeah, Ben has fallen off like pretty dramatically from 2018 on. He kind of, you know, he was at the games in 2018. And then I truly believe that a lot of it had to do with his knee surgery. He had that knee surgery and then like is a psycho. So like 2 months later he competed at Rogue or something and didn't make the games. Because that was a stupid year where you had to like qualify or whatever. It was just such a nightmare. But he didn't make it, so they gave him a wild card invitation in 2019, and that's the last time we've seen him at the games.
Yeah, they also, I mean, all of them have kids and they're married, and it's just it's so hard to compete at a high level there. Same with Travis Mayer. If that was all they had going, they could be. I'll go ahead and say that they would be so much more successful if they didn't have as many responsibilities, for sure. They just have a lot of other priorities on their plate besides just training, as opposed to a lot of the guys in individual competition, where literally all they do is train, and that's just it's just easier to do when you have no other distractions, that you can just eat, sleep, and train.
Well, I mean, and I would argue that like Ben and Travis, I mean, I feel like Travis's life is even crazier. He's got 3 more kids. Travis has like 4 or 5 kids.
4, I think.
And
they're all like young.
Yeah.
It's even more impressive because even though a lot of people that don't know, if you don't have kids, it's easy to compartmentalize it and be like, oh, okay, well, you just have kids and then you just got to make time. But it's just like, you just having kids, you never know how your night's gonna go. You don't know how many times you're gonna get woken up, and you just gotta roll with the punches. So you learn to be mentally tough on a whole nother level, and I would say like that's an advantage that they have on other people, is they know that they can do more with less. But there's also something to be said about being fully recovered and having fully like rested, and especially at the volume and the intensity levels that they're training at every day. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still like, he owns that gym obviously, but like
Yeah.
I think he coaches too. Like it's not like he just owns it, and like he actually is like very much involved.
I think
so.
the same.
I think Paincave coaches still.
Yeah,
too,
I think the
so.
same goes for Ben. Like I think.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
Ben, yeah.
Well, all
those
three of those guys that we just mentioned, Scott, Travis, and Ben, all three of them have families. They're affiliate owners, and they coach. They're involved. Like so, it's just really more of a testament to Scott that he has been and Travis that they've both been able to stay at this level. Is that's a whole nother thing. Like you can come to the games for 2-3 years. Like I feel like probably 50%. I don't know the numbers, but I would wager to say 50% of everyone that makes the games just makes it one time. And then everyone else is, either 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 or 5. But like people that can, like Ben went to the games like 11 times. He went to the games 11 times. That's just a whole, like being able to maintain that is pretty impressive. But obviously Ben, I think his body just is giving out on him.
He's still impressive.
Absolutely. We saw him in person at Syndicate. He's still crazy fit and strong, but he just can't keep up anymore. Like no knock on him. Like it's just, it just is what it is. The sport keeps getting higher and higher as far as like, there's more money in it now. And so there's a lot of incentive for these athletes to just be insane. And they are now. Like every year, I feel like the field gets better at the CrossFit Games. So, but speaking of the high-level athletes and the CrossFit Games athletes, going on as we speak, literally, the Rogue Invitational is this weekend. They had event 1 yesterday. That was a ruck, a run, some weird sandbag over a hay bale thing that literally doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't make sense.
I didn't see it.
So they showed it. It's literally so remember in 17 when they had those quote unquote cheese curds.
Sure.
It's literally that. It was that. Like it was like chest height hay bales. And each competitor had 3 sandbags, 100 pounds for the guys, 70 pounds for the ladies. And you just had to put your 3 sandbags over the hay bales, and then you just continue with the workout.
So it was like almost like pointless. Like
Completely
why
pointless.
did they have to do that?
Why? I don't know.
I really wish that they would have done what I described yesterday. Like
They didn't have to push it over. They just put it on top.
No, they pushed it over, but it's
that was it.
But just 3. They only had to do it 3 times. That was all I knew. I didn't see what the setups looked like. Because like when they released the workout before like any of the scores came out and stuff, I was like, what could they possibly be doing with this if they're only doing it 3 times? Are they like having to like climb up some thing and like pull
like
it?
right here, what Hopper's doing, that's literally and Lazar Jukic, he did roll his ankle in the event, but he said that he thinks the only reason they did that was just for cool pictures. Like
Well, I know when they did it in Madison, everybody who had they did it. I think they did it last year, or they did it in 21. They did a team event that had it either last year or the year before.
Yeah, last
and
year.
anybody that had done it said like wear long sleeves, wear pants, because the hay bales will eat you alive, and then you're going to be itchy and it's going to scrape you all up. And so I wonder if they just didn't brief the athletes on this, and so too many people were unprepared, and so they were like, "Oh crap! Like it's going to eat up the athletes. They don't want to do it."
They
Like,
changed
but
it.
they
it
changed
wasn't.
it.
But it wasn't get overs. Like when they did.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like at the games, though, it was
Yeah,
get overs,
it
or
was
maybe they
get-overs.
intended it for it to be get overs, but then when they got them there and they realized, oh, like they don't have the right equipment to do this, or they're going to be all ate up because he's in a t-shirt and shorts or whatever. I wonder if they just called an audible because they knew that everybody.
And
Was
they
gonna
did specific.
complain.
The first thing that I saw when they told them to wear pants, like they said specifically joggers, and
Not a single
Yeah.
person there had pants on.
Well,
but,
I guess maybe they were like, oh, never mind, we're not gonna do that.
But
yeah, 3 is so weird.
road
'Cause it's like
is so organized.
You did a ruck, so right, it was a 1.2 ruck, right? Into a 1 mile run.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it a 2 mile run?
It was, I think it was a 2 mile
Yeah,
run.
2 mile run. Then you did 3 of those, and then you did another 1 mile run. It's like super, like just like it broke up to a 3 mile run with that.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
And like up and over like this, like they like the way that it's described is like super. Is like makes it seem like it could be cool, but it's not really.
It's not.
Yeah,
It
I
just-
mean, maybe it was just a product placement. Like we just want them holding the sandbag or
Yeah.
a hay bale.
Yeah, it's just weird, but also, I mean, like I guess I understand that, like, if they're not gonna have the athletes go over the hay bale, then you can't do anything like you can't do multiple reps. So like literally they just had 3 sandbags. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Like
they
you
just
can-
like went back and.
Yeah, because these hay bale, like it's a long line of hay bales, so you can't really have the athletes just like run around that, like, you know, long strip of hay bales just to get back to their sandbag, and all the sandbags are the same. So what if they accidentally get someone else's, and like they don't have to run as far? Like it just doesn't. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Also, did you see where like because Hopper, somebody thought they were winning the event, and then they ended up not winning.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
I saw that was Jeff Adler.
Yeah, Adler literally thought that he won
yeah.
the event, and then because they thought that like Hopper was like lost or something.
But
And
it
then
was
he
just
had
because
just-
Jason was so far in
Well, I
front.
thought he was only like 30 seconds ahead though. You can see 30 seconds in front of you.
Yeah.
Like how would they not have
Well,
known that he was there?
Lazar said that Jeff couldn't see him.
Yeah, well that's what I'm saying. But like, how is that even possible?
I don't know.
Like you're not running that far.
I don't know. This was on Bill and Katie Henniger's ranch.
Yeah. Well, it showed like a layout of it. It seemed like it was a pretty straight run, but
Yeah.
I guess if it's like in a forest or something, like you might not be able to see
Yeah.
him.
I don't know.
But I thought that was like, how did you not have known that there was somebody in front of you?
Yeah.
Like that just seems
Seems
weird.
weird.
But
Yeah. But they did do a mass start. Like guys and girls all started.
I mean, I
together.
figured, but like if you're doing like all the sandbags are also all together,
Yeah, all
so like
clustered.
you should have seen that somebody had left probably.
Yeah. There were 3 sandbags missing.
Or I guess maybe if it's 30 seconds, he could have done them and been gone.
Yeah.
I guess before Adler even got there.
Because I think if I remember the interview right, he said that he passed someone on the run, and he was the only person he thought was in front of him. So perhaps going into the sandbags, Hopper was already gone, and then the person in front of him was still going when Jeff Adler got there.
That would be so sad. Could you imagine just thinking that you were like just crushing an event and then somebody beat you?
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, where did you come from?
I mean, and I was saying it to you earlier. How the hell is Jason Hopper such a good runner when he's so big? He's a large boy. He is a 220-pound healthy American boy. He does not. It doesn't make sense for him to be such a good runner. But to that point though, back in 2017,
Adler's a
ru-
big boy too. Though.
yeah, exactly. In Run Swim Run, Brent Fikowski won that workout at 215 pounds.
Probably
He won
because the
that
sandbags
workout.
were so easy for him. That was probably the difference.
yeah, that was the big
Those
stuff.
3 sandbags, he just moved them so easily.
I need answers. I need to know
I don't
why
know.
they had them do that.
I don't know. I'm bum puzzled by that one.
Because like, I mean, I maybe get it if it's like a freaking like 250.
250. Yeah.
If it's a 250-pound sandbag, I'm like, okay, well, I guess that make
Especially after you've ran that far, like you'd be that would be hard.
Yeah, that'd be hard to do.
Yeah.
It's like, and to
Yeah.
get it up that high would be hard.
It's
yeah.
weird because there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm trying to think, like, if it was just one, that would make sense. That they were like, oh, okay, if they called an audible, like, we're not going to have them roll over the hay bale, then we're going to have them, like, all cut up for the whole weekend. So we won't do that. But the fact that there's 3 of them, I don't get it.
That was like already the plan.
Doesn't make
Just
sense.
usually- But yeah,
Weird.
Well, but that was the one yesterday, so they're
Yeah.
doing their first event today right now.
Yeah, they're
Maybe
doing
it was
the-
supposed to be really high hay bales, and they just didn't get enough hay bales.
Well, Scott
They were supposed to,
Tetlow,
like,
Scott
chuck-
Tetlow would not be a fan of that.
They
Let me
were-
just tell you.
they were gonna
He is
chuck-
5'2".
I mean, that's
They
probably
were
Facebook.
chucking them over. Maybe they had to like heave them.
That would have been something.
Um,
So somebody dropped it on their head.
yeah, and then they were like, "No, let's not do that." I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
We may never know.
we may never know. But Jason Hopper won for the guys, Danielle Brandon won for the ladies. So yeah, super impressive performances. Wish they could have live streamed it. Hopefully they do have some cool footage from it that'll come out later.
That
But
beautiful Texas sky. That's my favorite thing about this competition in Texas.
It is
Why
in
don't we?
Texas.
Why don't we have the games in Texas? That would have been good.
it would have made,
Actually, that would have been horrible in August. It would have been terrible.
well, at least it would have been a little bit less humid. I mean,
God, but you would have been in an oven. It would have been just as bad, but worse. The heat would have been worse, but it's dry. Not that it matters. You would have died.
You would have had people like dying because they didn't
Yeah.
know that they needed to drink as much as they were.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Like
it
that.
wouldn't have worked.
Anytime that I've been in like, no, that's not like super far west, but like being in like Utah and stuff during the summer, I would like be working out, and whenever I would drop in at gyms when I traveled a lot for work, they'd be like, "Hey, you like need to drink water."
yeah.
In August, at night, pitch black night, it would still be 98 degrees outside when it was August. I remember
That's terrible.
because I waited until like 9 p.m. to go on a run one time, and I was like, it's still 98 degrees outside.
Yeah.
The bars would have been just boiling. It would have been awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have those little covers that they put on them.
Yeah.
It's not on the rig though. But
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so for the Rogue Invitational, I didn't ask you guys to do this in advance, but I guess I can just ask you now. What are y'all's predictions? Who's gonna win for the guys? Who's gonna win for the ladies? Who do we think? What do we think is gonna happen?
well, I probably should have looked at the workouts better if I was gonna do
Well,
that.
I mean, yes, but just like let's just say that the fittest people.
Well, then you would just assume that it would be Medeiros because
Mhm.
he's the fittest male, but
Is he,
I
though?
need to see the workouts.
I mean, is he though?
he won the games, didn't
He did win.
he? So he should be the fittest. It
Yes.
hasn't been that long ago.
I was gonna say, but it has been there. Time has gone by. Time has gone
Yeah.
by, and the test is different.
I don't even know enough of the ladies. to get
So in my, I did.
I know Dorstar's
a-
doing it.
Yeah, Annie is doing it, and she, I think she is
Think
crazy fit right now.
Danielle Brandon has a good chance.
Yes,
I would
I
say.
agree.
Have they not done their next event?
It's going on like 310 or something.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like going on right now.
I had Danielle coming in third. I did a thing where I go through. I do this for the
Laura
CrossFit
Horvath is
games
there
too.
too. So like I don't know enough.
Yeah. I did this before the games too. I literally nerd out and make a list of every athlete and where I think they're going to finish at the end of the competition. And I had Medeiros in first, Roman Krennikov in second, and Pat Vellner in third. And I had Laura Horvath in first, Annie Thorsdottir in second, and Danielle Brandon in third. But who do you? I'm not. You guys don't have to give me a podium, but just who do you think? Just go off gut. Go with your gut. What does your gut tell you?
I just told you, Medeiros.
You think Medeiros? Okay.
No, I need to see I really would need to see the workouts, but because I didn't look closely enough. Because any of your top four, I think have a really good chance, and then you could even put Hopper in there as a dark horse
For sure.
To-
For sure.
to podium for sure.
I had him. Where did I have him? I had him in sixth. Yeah. Yeah. I had him just behind Jeff Adler. But what do you think, Preston? What's your gut tell you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm similar to Justin. I haven't looked at all the workouts, so I would need to see the workouts. But it's hard to argue that you're gonna have much different finishes than you had at the games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without knowing the workouts, I don't have any opinion on it.
Yeah, because at Rogue last year, at least on the guys' side, you had Medeiros won the games and Vellner came in second at the games, and then at Rogue it was the same story. Medeiros won, Vellner in second. So But okay, yeah, I think it's going to be a very fun competition to watch. I love the workouts. I think the programming. I don't know who programmed it though. I will say that I'm not sure who gets the credit for that.
I think it was Chris Spieler and Josh Bridges.
Didn't you say they did that last year?
They did that. I was gonna say they had Spieler and Bridges do that last year. I just wasn't sure if it was the same case this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, because I think Rich even programmed some last year.
He did, and because he talked about that on that podcast and that was talking the Savant podcast, and he was saying that they, because they like changed some of the workouts that he programmed because they want it to be more of like a spectacle.
Yeah.
They want their events to like look like cool and stuff. So
Yeah, like this back squat workout.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, like a workout like that can throw a wrinkle in, I mean, you have to be able to squat 500 pounds to do.
Yeah.
to
We
do
did
that.
the math. So okay, so for those listening, the workout is event 3. It's called back attack, and so it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of back squats for the men, 405 for the ladies, 275, and then you do 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 of box jump overs, normal height. 24 inches and 20 inches. So you do 5 back squats, then 25 box jump overs, 4 and 20, and so on. But we did the math. Me and Justin did the math on like reps to max calculator, and you have to have a 472 pound back squat in order to squat 405 5 times unbroken.
And that would, I mean, obviously those rep calculators don't always work, but
Yeah,
for the most part, they're pretty close.
They're pretty close.
But and then like you have to take into consideration like you're not just doing that, like right.
Right.
So, like you're doing that, and then you can still have like 9 more reps at the same weight after doing box jump over. So it's like if you can't squat 500 plus, like you're gonna have a huge problem.
This is why the people that are there.
Yeah.
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 Because like Haley Adams didn't get invited to this, did she?
No.
Oh, she didn't?
Well, if maybe she just chose not to
She
go.
definitely got invited because
of her placement.
they invite the top 15
Yeah,
from the
so
games.
she just chose not to go then.
Yeah, she just chose not to go. Yeah, she definitely got an invite.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
I just mean for anybody that's not at the high end of the strength. I mean, this workout, you're gonna get time capped.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Nick Matthews there, he got 14th at the games. So they invite the top 15.
Well, but he's got a monster back squat though.
He's going to kill this workout.
He's got a monster squat.
monster back squat. Yeah, he is my pick to win that workout.
But what did he squatted like 550 or something.
Just
right?
the other day.
Yeah, just the other day
which
on
is
Instagram.
insane.
Yeah, and he posted a deadlift video. I think today or yesterday. He pulled like 560 for like
Ooh.
reps, like
Oh.
multiple reps.
Oh.
Yeah, like 5 or 6.
That's
Wow.
Yeah,
That's insane.
like it was a lot. I would have to don't quote me on that number, but it was enough that I was like, dude, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because he's not that big of a guy.
Yeah.
So. But,
That back squat workout.
But yeah, so that workout's crazy, and they're doing
Yeah.
that after the one that's going on now. It may be finished at this point, but 20 bar muscle ups, 40, 32 cow ski, 80 GHDs, and then back 40, 32 cow ski, and then 20 bar muscle ups. So that one's pretty nasty. Your grip's gonna get super fatigued. Your core on the back half is gonna be just trashed after going GHDs back to that ski.
I think
and
a
the
lot of
bar muscle ups. It's gonna be gross.
It's gonna be gross. I think my guess is there will be like a front leading pack in that workout, and once they get to, this is just a prediction for guys and girls, once they get to the last 20 bar muscle ups, I think that's gonna be the separator. Who's gonna hold on for a bigger set? It's gonna be that'll be a fun one to watch.
I think it's gonna be whoever finishes the GHDs first. I think whoever gets off the GHDs first wins the workout.
As long as they didn't wreck themselves at the beginning.
Like I don't.
What
I
makes
don't
you
see
say
any-
that?
Only because I think they'll all be able to do the bar muscle ups. Yeah, either I don't think they'll have to break them. I think they'll do it all unbroken.
Both sets, the last set.
Yeah, well, because I think there's enough time that you can recover on the ski, and then you got GHDs, and then you ski again, and then you go unbroken again on the next set of 20 bar muscle ups. I think they'll go unbroken on both of them.
It's a lot of cals on the skier though to go right into.
That's why I'm like, whoever. I think it's going to be It's going to be a shorter athlete. Because I don't think there's not enough calories on the ski there to make that much of a difference that you're going to lose that much time. But I think it'll be a shorter athlete who rips through the GHDs and then they go unbroken on the bar muscle ups, and then they just ski like a good pace.
I mean, but if you ski at the pace that these athletes are capable of, like that's 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes, like a minute 40.
I mean, it depends on how much they're trying to save for the bar muscle ups, I would say.
Yeah.
If they're actually trying to recover on them, like I would say the top one, they'll probably push a little harder.
Yeah.
Just because they're going into GHDs, and some of those guys are really good at GHDs, so they can recover on those. And then the 40, the second half, like maybe pull it back a little bit, and so maybe they're closer to 2 minutes, just so that if they are going to try to go unbroken.
I think they'll go into it with I'm going to go unbroken, and then if they have to break at the last second, they'll know when they get 12 reps in.
I can see this is just looking at it now. I think this is a really good workout for Noah. With his
that's what I was thinking.
With his bar muscle capacity, like this is a really good workout for him.
Yes.
I would have said Lazar as well, but if he's not competing because of his ankle,
yeah.
Well, no. He is.
Oh, he's still competing?
Yeah. He said he's fine.
Oh, okay. So this would be a good workout for him as well.
That would be exciting to watch, but yeah.
He just decided to kind of cut his losses and
Sure.
was just like, he was like, I'm not gonna do well in this workout anyway. And actually, they offered him to stop. They were like, you don't have to finish. You can still finish the weekend. And he was like, no. Yet another reason why I love.
Are there any guys that won't? I guess you may not know the numbers offhand, but like, who is competing that cannot do that workout, the back squat?
The back squat workout.
There's got to be multiple people. Right?
I think there's going to be more ladies, I think, that will struggle with 275 than there will be the guys that struggle with 405.
500 pound back squat is like.
I
think that's pretty aggressive.
I think all of the men there, I think, can back squat 405. I think there will be some.
You think Tetlow can back squat 500 pounds?
I don't know. He's super. He's 5'2".
Yeah.
So, well, that's what I'm like. Even if they can squat 405, they're not finishing the workout. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. 500 pounds. Like they need to be a 500 pound back squatter.
Or else you're
in order to do the back squats even close to unbroken.
Yeah, which we don't know what the time cap is, I guess, but.
Yeah. I think there will be some. I think there might be on both sides. There will be people that will like do one squat and re-rack it. And then do another squat and re-rack it.
Ben Smith could do that workout. You said his body's giving out on him.
He would smash that workout, actually.
Yeah,
Smash.
I think his body is giving out on him. I am not taking back that statement.
He could smash that workout.
Just because he's strong. Oh yeah, that one workout.
But when you say body, people think more of like the strength stuff. Like you're talking about like his cardio.
His cardio.
Yeah, but that's not like how people would take that.
Yeah. I watched him compete at Syndicate this year. I was there. I saw him.
And on the last day,
he did well on the lift.
And he also did really well on the last day.
He did.
So,
but also those workouts were better for him.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Which if you ask him, he would just say that the program was really terrible.
Yeah. He has been very open about saying that.
He's been to 11 CrossFit
games.
Yes.
All right. So next workout, DT with a spin.
Ooh, DT with a spin. I hate DT is literally my least favorite workout in all of CrossFit, but I am such a fan of human suffering that I'm excited to watch this one. That's a Sherwoodism. It's not original. He said that a long time ago, but I agree with it. It's 5 rounds, 15 cal echo bike, 12 deadlifts, 9 hang cleans, 6 push jerks at 155 for men, 105 for women. So it's DT, but you do a 15 cal bike at the beginning of every round. So just make DT worse, which the CrossFit loves to do. We've done heavy DT at the games and double DT at the games. So this is just yet another twisted spin on a awful workout. But I don't know. I it'll be fun to watch, but I think that all of these athletes are good at DT. I don't think any of them would struggle with doing just regular DT.
No, I mean,
But-
this is going to be who can bike fast.
That's what I was going to say. I think the bike is going to be the separator here.
I think.
Boring. That's
You
what I
think
think
it's
about
boring?
this event. This is what programmers do. I'm just kidding. They work with a lot of constraints. It's easy to sit back and be critical of the programming. It'll be fine, but again, it's just like whoever's good at DT, whoever is the best at DT is probably going to win this because
Yeah.
if they're the best at DT, 15 calories is not that big of a separator.
Shouldn't be.
It's the
Yeah,
same
I just mean
cows for
nobody's
guys
going to
and
do
girls.
anything stupid and like they're all going to bike to 15
Oh, yeah.
really fast. It's just going to come back to like who's going to do DT the best. Whoever your best DTer is going to win the workout because
Yeah.
they're just going to bike slightly faster than the next guy who's going to bike slightly faster than the next guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like, nobody's gonna fall apart on this. Like they all know how to attack it. I mean, again, and like the intent behind the programming, if that's it's just like, hey, we just need a bike included, and we want to showcase a barbell that they're gonna cycle pretty quick. Then
And it'll be a good race.
yeah,
It'll be a good race. I would
It'll be a
say
good race.
I would either put I think either Jason Hopper or Jeff Adler, maybe Roman Krennikov would be my three. Those would be my three for on the male side. Now on the female
Yeah,
side,
because those are the big guys that are going to be able to hammer the bike.
yeah,
It's
and
like-
it's gonna be effortless for him. But on the female side, it's kind of harder. I guess I would say Cara Saunders.
Yeah, she'll do well. I
She'll
think
do
Doris
well.
will do well.
Thor, yeah, that's a good
I mean,
point.
Horvath, I don't know why she would struggle.
I think Laura might win that work.
Yeah, there's going to be people that smash this. And like me looking at this workout, I would be less scared to do this than if you asked me to do DT right
straight
now.
up. Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
thinking too. He's like, you're like, oh, okay, well, everybody's gonna have to like pace the bike a little bit.
Yeah, because it's like, why does DT get hard for you is different, obviously, than it is for me. But like, DT's hard for me because my grip goes.
Mhm.
So like in this, my grip's not gonna go
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be able to like whatever like do the weird thing on the handles and like so I'm not gonna be using my hands
Yeah.
for that however long it takes me to do the 15 cal. So like, it's still gonna be terrible, but it's gonna be terrible for a different reason. And to
Right.
me, it's less scary.
Yeah.
Right.
I do think that's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah. And then so DT with a spin. Event 5, the turtle. Let's look at this one.
I mean, and if we're going back to like why Medeiros is a good choice, is I don't know that he's necessarily gonna win any of these, but he's gonna be like in the top 3
Yeah.
on all of these.
Yeah, you will.
Like for event 4, who's your pick for event 4? Who's gonna win that one?
Event 4?
Yeah.
I just said those.
Oh, huh?
I thought I just said those.
You said your top 3 picks, yeah.
Yeah, for guys and girls. I think Cara Saunders, Annie Thor's daughter, Laura Horvath.
Mm.
And then I think Roman Krennikov, Jeff Adler, and Jason Hopper.
Mm.
I think it'll be a race between those athletes. Not to say someone might not surprise us, just out of left field. I mean, who knows? Ricky Garrard surprised me so many times at the games.
Somebody could just decide to like straight send it and then
Yeah.
hold on and see what happens.
I mean, yeah, Ricky won a couple workouts at the game, so I was like, I didn't have him in my top 3 for that one. But yeah,
You got
anyway,
Pat Vellner in your top 3. Is he gonna finish
I think he'll do well in that workout.
top 3 in any of these so far?
He did well. I don't know. Brian Friend has him winning the bar muscle up ski GHD,
Ooh,
You do.
and Brian Friend is
I don't think.
Shout out Brian
I don't think
Friend.
so.
shout out Brian
That's
Friend.
what happened.
If you're listening, Brian,
His
you
movement's
know
slow.
you know
That
you
is
are.
an interesting choice on that because
I think for 80 the GHC is the separator in that workout. I think everything else is gonna be about
Well,
the same.
Anytime GHDs are in a workout, Vellner does well. He
But
does
I don't know that 80 is enough to matter, but we'll see. I mean, it could be.
Could be. I mean, there was only how many GHDs were in the muscle up and over that event at the games? It was like muscle ups and
Yeah.
jumping and GHDs.
I don't
But then
know.
you had to go back to it multiple times, so that changes it.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
know.
I don't think it's the volume. I just think it's the per repetition.
Yeah, his
how long
speed
it
is
has
slower.
to
I guess
take
that-
each
like
person. It's
cycle
like-
rate.
Yeah, a
cycle
straight
rate.
through like this
Yeah.
with like not as many transitions. Like
Right.
with with the transitions, Vellner like can basically recover like while he's going somewhere, and there's not enough time for that.
Yeah,
That's why I was saying no,
but
because he
Vellner,
can just try
he's
to he can
also
go crazy and like see what happens.
to Brian Friend's credit, Vellner is one of the best at muscle ups.
Yeah, but they're slower.
Muscle ups.
Hey, this is all what I'm saying. This isn't going to be it's going to be fast.
I mean, Vellner
Fast,
in the 21 games, he won the ring muscle up, bar muscle up workout.
Yeah. I mean, he's great at
smashed
gymnastics.
it. Yeah, smashed it. So I don't know. It might be a good choice. Might not be.
Anytime you pick Vellner, it's a good choice.
Yeah, because
They're all good choices.
So event 5, same weight as we just mentioned, but it's on axle bar. So it's 155 for men, 105 for women. Axle bar lunge with a distance that we do not know. Monkey bar traverse. So if any of you watched the CrossFit Games this year, the traverse is like 2 like gymnastics beams.
I'm assuming that monkey bar though is going to be like this, like above you.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, no, that would make sense.
Yeah.
And
like
if
monkey
you-
bars like at a kid's playground.
They've done that at the games before. They did it in the obstacle course.
Yeah.
Vellner won the obstacle course.
So
He got first place in the obstacle course.
And
Anyway, that's a good clarification. That makes sense.
Yeah, they did it in 2011 too. They had the killer cage.
The killer cage,
You had
yeah.
to do heavy front squats and then do this long like monkey bar, and it became it was a bike front squat and then you did a monkey bar traverse, and the grip became a problem for a lot of people in that workout.
Yeah, if you want a fun Google, just Google CrossFit the killer cage. It is the craziest looking rig you've
I don't
ever
know if
seen.
I've ever seen that. I might need to watch
It's
that.
wild.
Yeah, it's crazy because people's grip started wearing out on them, and they had to like break up the monkey bars because I think you had to do like the full distance.
Yeah,
or else you had to go back to the beginning.
And I'm assuming that's going to be the case
Because
here.
you just don't know.
Yeah.
So after the monkey bar traverse, you'll go to a hill run bag pull with that
Mhm.
same 155, 105. So you're talking about the grip, like that's going to be a factor here because you're going monkey bar traverse to the bag pull, back to the monkey bar traverse.
What does it mean? Is it just a bag pull on a bag attached to
I
a
don't
rope or
see.
something?
They're pretty vague.
They're very vague on
So,
purpose.
Yeah.
But-
and then another axle bar lunge.
Yeah, grip's gonna be a
Curious
problem.
how that's going to be in the whole workout. Really is grip because you're using that axle bar.
The hill
I'm
run.
assuming that's going to be front rack.
Front rack is
so
my
it's
guess.
going to. I mean, that still tears up your grip more than you would think it does.
Yeah, because I
That's
guess
gonna be
it could be an overhead walking lunge, but they've done that with an axle bar. before,
I mean,
but-
they really could do both. Like one way you do fine, and then
Right.
overhead.
Who has the biggest hands of the field?
Oh yeah, Preston, you asked me the best questions. Who has the
He has a
biggest
spreadsheet
hands?
of the hand size.
I also was gonna say my gut, just without thinking about it, is that looks like Ricky Garrard. That looks like a good event for him. I don't know why.
He
But it's just so much, just like figure out,
grunt
grunt,
work.
go,
Yeah.
that I feel like he's gonna do really well.
Ricky is possibly the best athlete in the field at just kind of that, like, just bite down on your mouth guard and just go, like, just nasty, just like he can just put it into another gear.
But if you have really big hands and your grip isn't a factor, you can also probably smoothly like get through this. And I could see somebody doing really well that just played their hand really, really right.
I also think Vellner.
It also, yeah.
I don't know about his hand size, but he works grip like more than most people that I've, at least that they post.
I think Vellner, Gerard, and Medeiros are 3 good picks for this one. On the female side, I have no clue.
Is the axle bar overhead or is it front
See,
rack?
that's what I was.
We don't know.
Well, that's it doesn't say, but I was like, they could do like a front rack on one side and an overhead on the other.
If it's overhead, that's also terrible.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll say Horvath because we're talking about grip strength, and hers is
ridiculous. Yeah, she is like an insane rock climber. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see on the female side because I don't really have a good guess on that one.
Yeah.
Just because I think for the girls more so than the guys, the monkey bars is going to be the big thing. It's going to be the big separator.
Yeah, which would be mostly the grip because you're not having to do pulling really. It's just
Right.
going to be can you hold on.
Yeah, just general athleticism is going to help you in that one. But then event 7, 1 rep max log lift. So we knew this one was coming because I think it was either like Katie Henniger or Rogue or someone posted a video of Christy Ermo O'Connell. She was doing reps. So I think it's pretty safe to say Laura's going to win that one.
You didn't want to mention the fact that Mel and Jason Hopper and them were doing those weeks ago?
Oh yeah, they were.
But way before anybody should have known.
Yeah,
that was
like way before anyone should have known. But yeah, but also
they do have that strong man.
They have Rob Kearney, who is a really good strong
people just
man.
were making. They were like, oh, so you actually think that people don't know what the workouts are going to be?
Oh, that stuff happens.
But yeah, so back to who's going to do well. Horvath.
Horvath for sure. She's the strongest girl in the field. If Tia was here, I'd put Tia as winning this one. But since Tia's not here, Laura's the next strongest girl. She is just ridiculously strong, and her clean and jerk is really, really
I think
good.
Barnhart could do well in that one.
She could.
Danny
Spiegel.
Spiegel? She's there, right?
Yeah, she has the possibility to win it for sure.
Why not? She won the sandbag.
She did win the sandbag, but I think this is very different. I think
it's more similar than like comparing it to a clean and jerk.
Yeah.
It's not. It's very different.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Because it's like less explosive through the middle.
Yeah.
Like if you watch somebody,
I put money on her. Why? Yeah.
Yeah. I think she can make it happen, but I'm just saying if you're just like straight comparison, I don't know that it's relevant. But
well, because the sandbag, you just had to be good at like conforming to the shape of the object you're lifting, and then anyways, and so she just had it figured out better than everybody else.
Yeah. We'll see. I haven't seen videos of her practicing. I have seen videos of Laura. She got her hands on a log last week. So anyway,
I'm sure Ben Smith could have found a way to get one.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, that'll be a fun one to watch. What guys do we think will do well besides Jeff Adler? Because Jeff's. Am I wrong in saying that Jeff's probably the strongest?
I mean.
I think Nick Matthew
but
will
obviously,
do well.
like he's always going to be top 5 in no matter who you
strength.
have.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would imagine he's going to be very good at that. I bet like someone like Roman Kredikov's going to do good at it. I just don't know how much weight can people do.
I don't know.
I was gonna say I feel like that's one of the events that's going to determine your winner. Is whoever can stay in the top 3 on that event will win, because I think they're all going to be pretty close on all the other workouts. But yeah. But I think that one's a bit like where it's just like you're either going to get it or you're not.
They're using a real log too, right? They're not using like the metal one that Rogue sells.
Yeah.
Is a real one.
Yeah.
I guess it's a metal handle, but whatever.
But moving on, event 8, snatch and press, 3 rounds, 20 dumbbell snatches, 100-pound dumbbell for the men, 70 pounds for the ladies, and 9 parallel handstand push-ups. So those are going to be 4-inch deficit for the guys and a 2-inch deficit for the ladies. Laura Horvath is not looking forward to this one. I think that's safe to say. But
it's not a bad deficit though, at least.
It's not. It's really not. That's going to be
surprising, honestly.
It's going to be a fast one. It's going to be
And
fast.
you can kip them. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I was thinking straight. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's kipping.
Yeah, that's not going to be bad.
It's more
Well,
about
the
the
dumbbells.
snatches or
Mhm. Yeah, who can manhandle that dumbbell? And just, doing double kettlebell snatches and doing a single dumbbell snatch isn't necessarily comparable, but I think that Roman will crush this one. I think he's going to do very well because he won Alpaca and he didn't look like everyone else looked like they were in pain, and he looked fine.
Yeah.
So I think he'll manhandle that dumbbell.
I think they'll just do single alternating arm snatches from the get-go, and then they'll hang on to the handstand push-ups, and then whoever can cycle that dumbbell the fastest wins.
Yeah, I feel like I don't
I
know
think they'll all
why.
do the handstand push-ups about the same.
For sure.
It's just going to depend on how quick can they cycle the dumbbell.
You think Danielle Brandon will do well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think she will.
She moves dumbbells really, really well. I mean, and her overhead is like ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she doesn't split jerk. Like she's started
she's
to
in
now.
now.
Yeah, she's started to now. But her just push jerk is so strong that she doesn't.
her overhead. She'll do really well though.
Yeah. So I think Danielle will crush that one. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be a fast one. It's not my favorite event, for sure. But I think it's a good sprint test.
Yeah, I think I would have liked it better if they were strict.
Yeah.
At that deficit.
Yeah. Only 4 inches and 2
yeah.
inches. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good. I mean, it's still a good workout. But the last workout that they've announced, there's 10 workouts though, right?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, so
They
the
won't
last
announce the
one
last
that they've
one. Yeah.
announced is called the Goblet. 7 rounds, 7 muscle ups, a hill sprint, and then 11 goblet squats with an 88 and 62. So kettlebell.
Is that kilos?
No, there's no way.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's no
Is that
way.
88 kilos?
Surely not.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I just mean 88 pounds is.
It's kind of, how many kilos would that be?
It's like 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's.
So I mean that would be like 180
That'd be
80 pound
insane.
goblet squat.
Yeah. There's no way. Did they make him do 11?
No.
That would be an 88 kilograms.
It's like 180 something, right?
Is 194 pounds.
Yeah, that's probably.
There's
Okay.
no way.
So it's 88 pounds and 62.
So the weight there isn't going to be an issue. I
That's
guess
after the sprints.
Yeah, like your legs are going to be a little tired. Is it going to be that same hill that they've ran in the past, which
Yes,
is it's so steep.
Certain. Yeah.
Yeah, that workout looks awful.
Yeah, and then your grip. I mean, holding an 88 is going to get your grip pretty good on a goblet style.
Mhm.
Going back into those muscle ups, that'll be fun.
But for 7 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's gonna be
It's a lot.
who like there will be people that will break those muscle ups, especially on the women's
They'll
side.
probably have, though. I mean,
But-
they'll be forced to. Right?
Yeah, I think
The guys
immediately
maybe
my mind goes to Vellner. Immediately, I'm like, I think he's going to do exceedingly well in that workout, because the part of the workout that I think most people are going to struggle on is going to be the muscle ups, because it's 7, which is kind of like I guess I can do it unbroken, but like
Yeah, I don't
think
see the
they'll do
guys
it.
struggling.
I don't think they're gonna
Yeah, I
struggle.
don't see the guys struggling with 7. The girls will.
yeah.
Yeah, the girls will.
I think it comes down to who can like sprint like
Yeah.
consistently the fastest.
Yeah, I like Vellner. I like Medeiros on this one.
Yeah.
Um,
In 2021, the muscle up workout that we were talking about earlier, it was a bunch of bar and ring muscle ups. That was actually Medeiros' worst event finish. He got 15th in that event.
yeah, maybe 49's a lot for him. I think Noah could do well on this one as long as he doesn't like run 110% on the hill sprint.
Yeah.
Just because he's a fast squatter and his muscle ups are
It's a good point.
like really, really good. So
Yeah, some of the best.
Who's still fresh enough?
yeah, because it's
a
a big nine.
Yeah, that's true.
Whose legs are toast.
I mean, I think I think Ricky will
Oh,
do
yeah.
well. And on the ladies' side, it's kind of a tough one, because like if there was I feel like the smaller athletes are going to do well for the ladies, because typically those are the ones that can hang on to muscle ups.
Yeah, that's what I don't know their muscle up capacity enough to give a good. I mean, because this would be one like you would just be like, yeah, Tia's gonna win. But,
Yes,
but she's not there.
She's
so.
not there. Yeah,
Yeah, or Haley would win this one.
yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah, because that's not heavy enough
Yeah.
to like affect it.
No. Yeah, it's kind of TBD for the ladies on this.
Yeah, I
one.
mean these all allow for like good finishes, which goes back to what Fernie mentioned on the Savon podcast. Is like they kind of want it to be a spectacle.
Yeah.
And like they're gonna have really good finishes on all of these workouts.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun to watch. But yeah, Rogue Invitational. Those are the events. Those are what we think. That's what we think about them and who we think will do.
The winner
well.
gets a lot of money.
They get a lot of freaking money. First place I think is $215,000, and then second place is 75.
After taxes, though, I mean, you're probably only pulling in about half of that.
That's still a lot.
It's still a lot. It's
to work out for 3 days.
Yeah, I was gonna
Or
say
4 days, sorry.
4 days technically. Yeah, but it's worth it.
Okay, Preston's a little delirious here. I think we're gonna need to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah, before Preston starts talking absolutely out of his mind. But yeah, that's so Rogue Invitational. I think you can watch it on YouTube. I think is where they're going to be streaming it from. But yeah, super excited about that. And then next week when we come back, we'll talk about what happened and the leaderboard, how the leaderboard shook out, and maybe I'll do a comparison to my predictions and what actually took
So we
place.
can see how bad you did. It's gonna be great.
How bad I did, or maybe how good I did. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe I know a thing or two. But anyway, but as always, thank you all for listening, and we will be back next week.
Thanks to our sponsors, Paincave Coffee. When you're
Paincave.
looking for a little trip back to simpler times, have a cup of Paincave.